Alright, so this game we have Time Racers from Team A, Duty Back from Team B, Cat from Team C, and Gamer from Team D.
You giving up on saying their names?
I know I gave up after the first game. Too many words, too much remembering. Alright, so we have Last Colony, a lot of garages, double chems, double electronics.
And we have a
Nukes.
single very high carbon, which I usually think is important on IO. So I'm looking towards the northeast myself. You have basalt, oxygen, carbon, and aluminum or nearby. But yeah, there should be plenty of places to found. So I don't expect any death here.
It would be a terrible found, but I'd be so tempted to do something in the southwest corner with this cave that gives you a nice silicon-carbon combo tile. I don't see what else you'd do over there, but it just looks really nice.
So it's a single devil tile. It could be work. It could work out.
Elite over there.
Okay, yeah. That's my favorite found.
Yeah, it covers the carbon very nicely, has the basalt. Going Chems HQ1 is super weird.
Oh. Yes? Yes, it is.
I guess it makes some amount of sense since chems start double, but I think you just take advantage of the cheap steel, get to HQ2 very quickly, and then figure things out from there. Probably move into fuel first. Fuel's also a very nice market, and that covers you for chems later.
He still has 2 claims though, so we're not meant to have seen the full extent of his plan.
I'm very disappointed in Cat grabbing this medium tile instead of this
Yes,
cave nonsense.
absolutely.
A scientific HQ.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty nice elite found from Cat.
Right. Would take care of all her silicon needs very nicely.
Yeah. So we have 3 elites and a scientist. This will be interesting.
Everyone moving into some very early carbon.
Yeah. Like carbon is more important now because of Endgamer's chem refiner. Because carbon is the fuel, and fuel is a very important resource here.
Right.
Let's see who can get into ions first. It looks to be Duty Back.
Yep.
And he's even Gundam.
What is going on this game, though? Cat moving into a second carbon tile already. 2D Back has 2 carbon tiles. Endgamer has 3 carbon tiles.
Oh. Oh, I didn't realize the full extent of it. Yeah, that's a bit too much. So normally you want enough carbon to cover the cost of your ion collectors.
Right, and the other thing is just there's no carbon-based demand from the colony, and nothing's just all that appealing from carbon right now. None of these carbon tiles are important enough to claim this early, I don't think, because there are enough other options on the map, but apparently these players disagree. Let's see how it works out.
And Cat power searches the chem refiners, which were barely making money. I'm looking at whoever goes into power first at this point.
Yep. Power been climbing steadily thanks to all these garages and no one moving into power. And all this steel production and whatnot.
Oh, there we have an explosion at the colony too, so power shortage.
Yep. Feedback moving into double nuclear plant on these uranium tiles. Or, no, he's moving to mines because he can't afford nuclear plants. But maybe soon. Moving to a Geo too.
Yeah, Cat has the most money, she should be... Yeah, she actually is starting the nuclears now. No goon though. And nobody else seems to be moving into it yet.
Endgamer's starting to move into some power. Only has 1 right now though. Because he has not been producing steel for the most part.
Yeah, so carbon is perhaps unsurprisingly $1 right now.
That's pretty great. Fuel at $3.
Fuel at 3, so everything carbon based. And actually these chem refiners are pretty good right now.
Yeah.
After the shortage.
Right, after the shortage and what everyone did to carbon and fuel. It's not surprising.
Yeah. But here comes the power money, and Cat is gonna win this game. Like, look at these tiles, they're crazy.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Duty Back just getting frozen out on that steel, not really being able to compete in that market much as he'd probably like to.
Yeah, and I wasn't even from Cat, that was from Endgamer.
Yeah, definitely misreading it. If you're anyone but Cat, you need to be attacking her power.
Yes.
Time Racer is also just not quite reading the situation right. He has 1.2k iron. He still has these 2 iron tiles that could very well be more steel or power or something.
Yeah. You don't need more iron than this.
Right, iron
Okay,
tiles.
so Cat is doubling down.
It makes sense. No one.
I guess this looks like the previous game a bit.
A bit, yes. Endgamer's still only in that 1 nuclear plant is disturbing.
Yeah.
Skill has been boosted to a ridiculous extent thanks to Cat, which is really just sealing in her lead so effectively.
Yeah. I don't really see any way to combat this from anyone else at this
Nope.
point. And oh, that's...
I'm not sure. I think that's a reasonable decision.
Yeah.
I think as Elite, you probably just want to keep pushing forward. Time Racers especially seems like a strange majority buy candidate, considering he only has 1 more stock.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know what's happening. She changed target now to the one I would have gone for. Actually, I would have gone HQ4, but
right.
this works too.
Yeah, if you're gonna buy someone, I think Duty Back is the one you buy.
Yeah. And yeah, this is a pretty nice auction.
I think Duty Back might be able to defend himself if he ships these chems now. Although maybe not.
Ah. Yeah, nice call.
56. Now he definitely can't defend himself thanks to that power surge.
Sold.
Yeah. That should be... Yeah, I don't think it was enough.
On the other hand, Cat takes that auction. She does not have any other source of income besides power, so maybe he just hangs on.
Yeah, so this, I guess, is why I wanted her to up here instead, because she only has that 1 income source.
Right. The Optimization Center is a really nice tile, of course, but if you're going to commit to this play, it just doesn't work together. Very strange. Still, Cat decidedly in the lead here, and...
Yeah.
Actually
And we have a Sulfur Frost coming up, so everyone needs to decide which market they want to be in for the next 3 minutes.
Yep. Cat probably really wants to sell out very quickly, upgrade, get her buildings down.
Yeah. I want to point out that Endgamer throughout this game has only had a single basalt platform, so he has real issues supporting his team. You really need 2 basalt platforms now.
Yeah. It might have worked out better for him if Time Racers were selling any of this ridiculous surplus of iron, but that hasn't been happening, so just kind of being hurt by this.
Yeah. He's not out-selling, but he's selling a little bit.
Gamer moved first into the patent lab, moving into nanotech. I don't know why he's buying extra stock into himself. I don't think he can afford to do that. He's not making enough money yet. And he really probably wants to get to HQ4, get a Pleasure Dome down, get optimizations rolling. This just seems...
Yeah.
like self-sabotage.
This entire game is a bit confusing. Because this stock doesn't do anything for you at all.
Yep. Duty Back, in the meantime, has been struggling. No big surprise there, especially with the attack on him. The freeze on his steel. Never was able to get into power, so he's in a ton of debt now. Finally moving to some nuke plants now, but it's all just a little late.
Yeah. So, okay, oh, that was before the death tick. Yeah, now he's really in a lot of trouble. D plus 4 this early.
65k.
There is a lot of money to be made though, onward.
Definitely. He has strong access to the basalt. Can make nice glass money there. I guess he has decent access to oxygen as well. There are things he can do, for sure, but he's going to need to do them very quickly, and I don't think Cat's going to give him the time.
Yeah, probably not.
Speaking of, Cat now has a Pleasure Dome down, or building, which will be a nice $500 a second. Build your pleasure domes as elite people.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I'm questioning her optimizations a bit.
Right.
She optimized power, chems.
Food is
Food and
$400.
class
I
are
would
the
like
ones
to
you rate
point out.
out.
Yeah. Oxygen from her HQ5 makes a lot of sense. That should serve her well. Other than that, I'm not sure what else to do with her claims. She could probably transition out of the steel pretty easily, move into food there. Maybe pick up nanotech to help out with that later. Endgamer, moving into synthetic meat should be excellent for him.
The black market is
Although he
open
doesn't
for
have any
business.
water to support his farms, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and he's a bit lacking on claims.
This is what happens when you stall yourself at HQ3.
Yeah. So Endgamer and Cat are doing similar things, but Cat does it on HQ5, so she gets a lot more out of it. And of course, none of them can be locked out of a pattern since they're linked.
Slow down strike on the optimization center strikes me as very strange.
Yeah, I would like to see Mutiny personally.
Right. I mean, maybe you're really scared of a goon on it, but still, I'd rather see Spy Mutiny. Op the goon something.
And Cat has noticed that to the back stock is awfully cheap, and I like her choice to buy into it.
Yep, absolutely.
And to the back decides that he's not in enough debt. Takes the claim auction, 28k.
At some point, you just stop caring and.
Yeah. D plus 5, D plus 6. Is there really a difference? Yeah.
Interesting that he's choosing to move into glass on these oxygen tiles instead of on the basalt, which would be much better, but that's okay. That should get the buy done very soon and have this game wrapped up. Just lots of long-term advantages already, and this is going to be a huge stock price boost.
Yeah. I might have liked to see... Well, I guess it was too late when she claimed that. But she could... That cave tile you talked about, if that was an adjacent with the quarry on the silicon too,
Right.
would have made a lot of money right about now.
It's just strictly better than this double low carbon, which was medium low, to be fair. And I guess
it was medium.
this is also a bit more vulnerable to nukes, but still. How do you turn that down?
Silicon is like the best market right now, other than food.
Yeah, and Endgamer, okay, he was moving into even more glass despite that, but he seems to have thought better of that. Maybe he should move in some water?
Yeah, well, I would recommend supporting this with some water.
I mean, it's making a
Okay.
ton of money for him, but also feeding a ton of money to Cat.
To the back sold out of himself, so Cat got the majority buy instead of the extra chairs.
Yeah, I think that does help the other players somewhat on balance, but not very much, and it just really doesn't matter regardless.
Yeah, and nothing really
unfortunately.
matters after that power opening. I don't know what to say, really.
Yeah, one of those games.
It's one of those games. We'll just wait it out. So, Endgamer seems to like overcommitting things. Like now he has 7 iron collectors.
Right, I mean, it's something you can do with nanotech, but it's not something you should do with nanotech. That's not how you should use it. It's because you're still spending a lot of time making those transitions, and even if you are going to be making mass transitions, you need to be building up big stockpiles, so you don't need to transition back into them very soon afterwards.
Yeah, agreed. And I'm curious that he actually scrapped his farms, because they were still making a lot of money, even at this water price.
Right, no good reason to scrap out of them. If anything, just get some optimizations rolling.
Yeah. That's why I would have liked to see a mutiny on the optimization center too. Okay, Cat buys time racers.
The black market is open for business.
Yep. I would also like to point out that Cat is still the only player in a Pleasure Dome. It's making a robust $900 a second at this point. It seems like something an elite should be worried about, but hasn't quite happened.
Yeah. It's very, very high for IO. Usually IO Pleasure Domes are a bit disappointing, but this game was excellent for it.
At doing basically everything she needed to do.
The engineers have advanced our
Yeah.
production.
Well, I guess except for... I guess we disagreed with the majority pie push in the first place, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, when you have the money advantage, nobody stops you. You can pretty much do what you want.
Mm-hmm. I guess one advantage pushing
Look at
for
the endgame now. Those farms look pretty good.
Yep.
Oh, cat bought into water, nice. She noticed it too. She punishes it, buying 5 underwater.
Yeah, definitely something Endgamer leaves himself vulnerable to quite often. He had water down, he transitioned out of it. No great reason to do that.
And he transitioned out of his 7 iron collectors and doesn't have any stockpiles.
Right, and now he's gonna be consuming 7 fuel a second or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah,
be
if he
careful.
does this, he really needs to stockpile. But although I would prefer like spreading out your income sources.
Right. Otherwise, things just crash out very quickly, you find yourself needing to transition again very quickly.
Yeah, and you usually help out other people who notice what you're doing, like Cat now.
Right.
She just buys into water and they appreciate the value really quickly.
Good players will not let those sorts of moves go unpunished.
Yeah. And okay, this is a bit of a pet peeve. I think if the game is over, you shouldn't bid on auctions.
I guess.
Cat wants it.
I mean, I guess the game isn't completely over. It'll stretch out for another, like...
40 seconds.
Right. If it was like 10 seconds, then definitely I would be upset by that.
Yeah, okay.
Here it's a bit more debatable. Endgamer finally getting his first optimization center done. Optimization done. Finally getting to HQ5. Patent Lab really just slowing him down too much. Did not need transparent aluminum, probably. Thinking machines, I guess, is fine. Synthetic meat was great. Nanotech is useful. Superconductor, I guess.
Yeah, it's always nice to have if you can afford it.
Mm-hmm. Especially IO,
I
I
think
guess.
the main issue with him was this HQ1 play.
Yeah,
And,
the single
yeah.
chem lab was not great. There's no reason to delay the HQ2 when it's basically free.
Yeah. And I guess a lesson is you should check around to see other people's carbon claims before you decide that you also need carbon. That's what we can learn from this game.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know.
Like analyzing anything after the power play is futile. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess we should say that this always happens in IO. Like fuel and power are strong HQ2 markets, and you should plan for it.
Right.
Found.
Definitely need to realize that this garage-heavy opening, which is basically every game for IO, all this fuel, all this power, those are markets that people tend to avoid early anyway, except on IO, I guess people do go for fuel. But yeah, that should drive you a bit away from chems. Secure your fuel first, make sure you have a path into power, otherwise bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Alright.
well done by Cat, and
Well played.
we are on to our last game. Is this one? This is 1D3.